talk not just about educational material, but all the different tools and strategies that have been developed or that were already there and that Area Regional Control has thought out of the box. Everybody that's involved in Area Regional Control are thinking out of the box and how all these tools are being used. And okay, Tim, I don't know where you're, Tim Lula, I lost you, but wherever you are, I do admit that PRRS sucks. So, if you want to defeat it, it's a very interesting journey anyway, but if you want to defeat it, I read this quote from The Art of War from Sun Tzu, where it says you have to know your opponent, you have to know yourself, and then you will not be in danger, and then you will win your battles. So, I think that that is a very important message with PRRS that we should all take back home. So how do we do that? And I think that during the last 3.5 hours, all our presenters have been talking about the different tools, how they use them, strategies, etc. And for us, what's been the most revealing part is all the educational material that is now being developed. All of the different projects have shown you how they use different tools, and I'm not going to read them at all, but there is so much information being generated by Area Regional Control. And as I said, it already existed. The universities, our colleagues, the clinics, ASB, National Pork Board, they've all developed many different tools and strategies. But the difference today is the way that we are using all these different tools and strategies. For example, you can see PADRAP there. And Aaron Johnson this summer had a really great idea. Of course, with the summer student project that we have, that is where we work with Iowa State University with Daryl Holcam and Chris Maurer. What we do is our summer students go and do the survey, but instead of just having the individual scores, what Erin did, which I thought was a really good idea, she actually made appointments for all the producers to come in so they would not lose their time. So they had a time where the students would do the survey. The students would type all the information. At the same time, there were videos of oral fluids, of different stuff related to Area Regional Control. So at the same time, this survey became a continuous education meeting for everybody. So it's a really good use of everybody else's time. And finally, what's going to come out of that exercise is that we're not going to have individual PADRAP scores, but we're also going to have the regional scores where Erin and Chris and Daryl are working on giving us the general PADRAP score of the area. So we're not only going to focus on what is my problem in my farm, what in the region are the main risk factors that we need to work with. And then, of course, Enrique, our magician with all the maps, is also putting all those scores in the maps so we can see also where the most important risk areas are. So that's just an example of an existing tool that's been modified to fit and to help Area Regional Control. And that's what we call tools. And then we have all these different strategies. Everybody's already talked about them. But I think that the two that we had a meeting yesterday with Dr. Murtak because we need to get all these different tools. I know Jeff is here, and we've talked with Jeff a lot, asking him, we really need to get the oral fluids, not just for ELISA, not just for PCR, but the sequencing part is very important. The more sequences, the more information we get, then we can work with BioPortal. Jose Angul is also doing a lot of different classification on how to use sequencing. So all this information eventually will generate information that hopefully we will be able to transmit from one project to the other. I think that that is the most important message that we want us to send today. There is a lot of information being generated, but unfortunately sometimes we're working alone or just in one project. Those who are fortunate like Tim or Dr. Gillespie that work with different projects get exposed to a lot of all the information. All of us in BI, all the projects that have allowed us to support them, well, we get all that info. But the other day I was working with Dale on developing a base camp educational video, and that he has this vision, this concept that one day we will all be able to have all this information, access to the information, of course respecting confidentiality, And we will be able to learn from projects that are already being done and develop in certain areas. And so we don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. And that's the last part I wanted to talk. Area Regional Control has also developed a lot of very practical and very interesting projects. And that's why I say it's an interesting and fabulous journey, because with the Bethany Project and with Brian Payne and Bill Nock, we've been developing trying to answer some practical questions, such as how important is transport, aerosol transmission for transport, etc. So sometimes the ideas might sound crazy. I discussed that a lot with Robert. But I think those are questions that we need to try to answer. And when these regional projects allow us to try to do all this different research, sometimes we don't get the answers, but sometimes we are getting somewhere. So we just wanted to mention all these different tools that are available. And if at any time you're interested, everything that we have permission to share by our working groups, we will of course share them with you, so you can contact any of us in the BI Swine team to be more specific about all these different tools that are already available and that we are using in a different fashion in the different ARC projects. I just had one request, but now I have two. The first one is I lost my earrings, so if somebody found it, please, can you please give it back to me? Yes. Monse found it. Thank you, Monse. Great. The second one is, as I already said, we have a summer intern project, which is really fascinating. Just working with young people and, the way they think and stuff. And I have this student from the University of Minnesota, and she did an excellent job on a survey of the different way we're using immunization against PRRS virus. ASB supported us on putting it on the website, but unfortunately, and I know everybody's busy and everybody's being bombarded with surveys, and we've only had 20 answers, so you can imagine that that's not going to be the best way to do analysis of this information. So my request is please give us 15 minutes. Giselle worked really hard. She's a very smart lady, and she was really disappointed that we did not get enough answers. So please, it'll take you only 10 minutes. Go into the ASB website and respond so this ASB she won't be able to present, but maybe in the future we will be able to present. And this is open to any ASB members. So no, it doesn't matter what, we have a demographic, so we'll be able to analyze it. But if you can help us do that, I think Giselle will be extremely happy to be able to finish her summer project.